it's new moon, so we can chat about that. It's new moon. It's new moon in Gemini today, which is beautiful. So I can just give you a little reminder, or maybe new information if you're new here and if you don't know these things just yet. How to use moon and moon magic for alchemy and for our divine feminine magic. Even if you're a man, this is your inner feminine energy. So even if you're masculine, identifying with journey of a divine masculine, you can still connect to your energy. And the moon is a great thing to connect to your feminine energy. You can use the moon and the cycles of the moon to flow with those cycles a little bit, to connect to your feminine energy. But it's a must when we talk about divine feminine and creating your reality through moon magic. This is how we actually can, you know how people say this phrase that, which is true, but I think that most people misunderstands that that this is how we manifest, right? This is how we create our reality. And creating a reality isn't about magically, saying something that you want to achieve, and then it will just, the more you say it with words, like people say, like, I already have this, I'm already rich, I already have this job, and then it's going to pop up in your external reality. It's bollocks, it's misunderstanding, it's not how it happens. The alchemy and the manifestation of your reality is two things you need to know. First thing is that it's about reacting to the reality differently, and through how you react to what is, you will be shifting what will be. So that's one thing. So you have to accept what is first and not deny it with like journaling and words. I'm ready this, I'm ready that, and I actually hate the where I am now. So that's first thing. And second thing, it's the as above so below, as within so without. So you have to create that within so it can manifest without, right? And this is how we do it, through accepting what is and changing our reaction to what is. Because only when we accept what is, which is always a lesson and an opportunity to grow, and we start reacting to it differently, we start to alchemize it. And we start to, as within so without, we start to create that reality externally. And it's not done through just words and journaling, right? It's again, these things can be powerful permission slips for your body to start switching. But the only language that the universe understands is the frequency. So even if you're journaling, if you're speaking the words, if you're doing whatever thing that you're doing, and you're not seeing any results and you don't know why, well, this is why. Because if you don't embody that change on an internal level, which is done by frequency and by inner work, so if you're not doing any inner work, you're just putting in your journal that I am slim, rich, and I have a boyfriend, or whatever it is that you want to manifest, it's not gonna change if internally you're not accepting your situation now. So back to the moon. New moon is when the cycle starts, and new moon is the period of time when we are sort of a zeroizing, how, what's the word? Resetting, and we are opening ourselves to receiving new information and new downloads from the divine, from our higher self, on how to upgrade our internal frequency, right? So they're wanting to show us how to upgrade the internal frequency so we then can raise it, and then again, as within, so without. So this is also why we should 2-3 days before that, especially if you're very tapped in, again, as a divine feminine, whether it's going to happen consciously or subconsciously, we should rest, and it should prepare for that. So often we're going to feel tired, and we're going to feel the need to rest a little more. So in that new moon, you're going to receive new information. And this is another misconception. I talked about this, like people think that a new moon and, you know, fresh start and everything's gonna, it's not about that. Again, there's gonna be no start in your life if it doesn't start within. Okay, as above so below, as within so without. There's no other way. As above so below means if it's not created in 5D, it's not gonna happen in 3D. If it's not created internally as within, it's not gonna happen externally so without. So what's happening around the new moon, which is now, it's you're going to be receiving downloads of information, right? Your inner feminine, again, whether you're masculine or feminine, your inner feminine will receive downloads of information from your higher self on what I can shift internally with that information to then change my reality, right? So again, you have to remember, people usually tend to have this grandiose sort of a thinking big, but it's the small changes that actually, small steps, big accomplishments that actually change your whole reality. So what's going to happen here? I'm going to give you an example. Let's say you are a people pleaser, right? It's one of your shadows that you are a people pleaser. You never choose yourself first. That's how we leak energy through our inner feminine energy, as a divine feminine, especially important. I've done a video about this a few days ago again. So let's say the divine, yet again, your higher self, yet again, wants to show you it has to go, because if it's not going to go, we're not going to change the within, and your external reality will never change. It's one of those shadows that is very low vibrational. It's blocking you, right? So they're going to send you a situation that is gonna insert that information into your mind, right? So either it's gonna be an actual physical situation, or it's gonna be something that you're gonna read, or you're gonna see in a movie, or a friend's gonna tell you something, and you're gonna sort of have this moment of realization that's gonna trigger that information from within, that this is something that should change. So it can be, for example, that around that new moon, you're gonna have a situation that you're gonna feel very bad physically, you're gonna feel very tired, you're gonna feel like, oh, all I want to do is just to take a nap and rest and stay home. And maybe you already had plans with someone, or someone is trying to, you know, encourage you to do something for them or with them, and you don't have it within you to say no. Okay, so they're gonna send you some sort of a lesson, and then you're gonna have a period of time which is in between the new moon, which is the download phase, the reset phase, and the full moon, which is the implementation, the go live sort of a phase. So we're going to have that period of time to have that inner reflection, to adjust and prepare internally within 5D energetically to create that change. So those are those weeks that you're going to be able to sit with yourself and say, do you know what? No, I've done this, but I cannot do this anymore. I have to start choosing me. Even if it's not 100%, every now and then, if I really don't feel good, if I have to listen to my body. If we don't listen to our body, if your body is saying, I'm tired, I'm in pain, I have a migraine, I have period cramps, whatever that is, and you ignore that to please others, you are leaking fat energy, girl, like there's no tomorrow, okay? You're going to manifest nothing. You're going to have nothing in your life. You're going to get stuck because you're losing energy. What moves us forward in life energetically is our chi, our prana, our life force energy, right? So you cannot leak that, because you're not going to have fuel to jump to next lifetimes and to move through stargates and to actually change your reality, right? So you're gonna have those 2 weeks, which is an opportunity that you can take, or you can skip. Most people skip that. This is why most people live that life in the same way, right? Constantly. So this is the time when you can sit with yourself and you have a time to prepare. Okay, they showed me this lesson. No, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to be ready. I'm going to be ready. That full moon's going to come in, and I'm going to start to so it's like this preparation. It's like this mental preparation. You know, you have something important in life, like an important presentation, or something important, and you know the date when it's going to happen, but it's like you're internally preparing, you're mentally preparing, like you're soothing yourself before, or you know that you have to do something for masculines, you know you have to reach out, right? You're preparing yourself internally, right? But you know it's going to happen, and sometimes we already set that date for ourselves as a target, and we're mentally that this is exactly what happens in those 2 weeks. So then when the full moon comes, this is the implementation phase. So this is where universe says, the moon says, the moon magic says, listen, you had weeks to prepare. We brought this from your subconscious mind to your conscious mind. We've tried, at least we've tried. Now it's go time. So this is why this time is so intense emotionally, because you're going to be receiving, again, opportunities to show that you are who you say you are. These are tests. These are tests. I always say this to you guys. Tests are opportunities from the universe to show that we are who we say we are. Because most people runs around saying, I'm spiritual, I'm divine feminine, I love myself more, and then as small as says, boom, you're failing. No. You have to really show what you blabble about that you are, that you're doing the work, that you're this and that, right? It's not just, again, saging your house and like holding some mudras that you don't even understand. You got to show that you are what you say that you are in order to manifest a different reality. If you're not completely satisfied with the one that you're stuck with, although we've talked about this, it's not about the satisfaction. You have to start being satisfied with what you have to actually be able to manifest what you want and where you're going towards. This is how we move from karma to dharma. So the full moon is going to bring tests. Again, some will be in 3D, some will be just on a level of emotion, and people will try to penetrate that boundary, test you. It's the universe saying, it's go time. This is where you can show that you've changed, and that you're ready to raise your vibration so that things that match that vibration can actually come. Because it's not that we don't have everything in life that we want and dream of and our soul desires because the universe is mean. But it's because the universe always wants to give us everything that we want. It's just that we're blocking that with low vibration. So soul kind of love, twin soul, higher soulmate, living a life of alignment when you are financially free, living a life when you are doing your purpose and you don't do anything that you don't want to do and you only do things that you want to do. These are things of very high vibration. So if you're not matching that, if you're stuck in a scarcity thinking that you don't deserve it, you don't even deserve to have a nap because you had plans with whoever, how on earth do you want to attract all of these things? You're not gonna. It's impossible. It's physically impossible, right? It's level of physics that we don't understand yet. That's why we need oracles to explain. So yeah, in that period of time, you're going to get tests. And if you pass those tests, it's been great. You've upgraded. We're proud of you. Pat on the back from the universe. Let's go. Now you have 2 weeks to fully live into that new frequency, fully embody that new frequency. Things may start already to come in as a small signs and synchronicities for you to show you that we're proud of you. Good job. You get a star. You've done it. You've made it. And it's that feminine and masculine, and the masculine starts to ground things into existence because you've upgraded. And it's another reset, so to say, for you to prepare and to start contemplating on what else can come in the next cycle. And then the next new moon comes, and again you get another download and that. So this is why I say to you guys that people who are conscious of it, people who are doing the work, who are doing the inner work, who properly understand all those cliche sayings that most people misunderstand and just blab about them but don't know what they mean, is about, so below, is within, so without, alchemy, manifestation. When you really use that magic for yourself, the moon magic, and you again, feminine energy, moon is the feminine energy is the initiation, is the creation, is the chaos. It's from there everything emerges. If you understand that and you start working with that, you really listen to the downloads, you really listen to your guides, you really listen. All they want to do is give you information so you can live your best life. But most people ignore it. And then they're like, oh my God, why I don't have this and why I don't have that. Well, would you listen what I'm trying to say? Would you listen? All you need to do is listen and follow the guidance, follow the leader, okay? So then again, it repeats. So when you're conscious of that and you start working with it every month for those small things, because this is how we do things. It's another misconception. And when I talk about divine journey, I often say this to you guys, people think that life is about this grandiose things. Yes, when you're in a journey of true awakening, Kundalini awakening, you're going to have those moments of like, oh, everything changed in a second, right? But for most part, life is about small steps, big accomplishments. So that small, if you are dedicated to change, if you're dedicated to every single little month, you're gonna be receiving downloads. If you're in a very intense journey of spiritual awakening, you yourself preparing to be an oracle or a shaman or whatever, you may have a lot every month, especially in that period of time of deep healing. But on a regular, normal basis, every normal person, for most part, it's going to be small things every month. And if you agree to pick up every small little lesson, every small little thing, you're going to be upgrading and upgrading and upgrading. And this is how we look back 1 year and we feel that, oof, 4 years have passed. This is how much I grew. This is how much I expanded. This is how much I changed. Like, right? And then obviously you have to understand that it takes time to, from within to without, to manifest certain things, to ground them into existence, right? Because we start from creating them in the 5D and within, above and within. And sometimes certain things in the physical world require a lot of changes within us. This is why sometimes we are on this journey and it seems like we're doing the work every month, every day, and it's like 4 years, 5 years, and nothing is changing, right? Give it time. And it's another element like patience, right? Chill, relax, right? It's in the making. It's already yours. You just gotta relax, right? But you have to continue to do the work and do the work and do the work. And finally, eventually, because it's the universal law, divine law, as within, so without, as above, so below. Whatever you have created through your feminine energy in 5D, it's impossible so it won't drop into the 3D. Whatever you are embodying on an internal level, it's impossible so it doesn't manifest and translates externally, so without. But this 3D world is bound by linear time, so sometimes different things have to fall into place, and you really have to anchor yourself in certain energies internally for those things to come in. But they will. Okay, that's what I wanted to say. That's how moon magic works, inspired by the fact that it's new moon. So think about, what is your lesson now? What is it that in those days universe tried to show you? It's a shadow. It's a shadow, and that shadow is standing between you. The vibration of that shadow is standing between you and your dream life. It has to go. Chop, chop. So, yeah, that's all. That's it. Love you. Bye.